Oh, excuse me. All right, Emma, let's go through page 239. And there's only 3 questions on this page, so I've gone ahead and changed the question to different numbers so you can get some practice and still do your homework. So the first one is 5 times 12, negative 5 times 12. And I just want to make sure you know that they can write this a bunch of different ways. They could write it as negative 5 times 12. They could write it as parentheses negative 5, 12. They could write it as parentheses negative 5, parentheses 12. There's so many different ways to write a multiplication problem. So just make sure you know that even though they may have parentheses or they may not have parentheses, it's okay as long as it's still one of the multiplication signs or the parentheses with a number right next to it, which says that it's multiplication, then you're okay. So that's just a little side note. We don't really need any of this right now. I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so let's get back to our question. Negative 5 times 12. So we have a negative times a positive. And if we remember our rule, a negative times a positive is always a negative. And 5 times 12, that's one of our math facts from 3rd grade. Let's see if we remember it. 5 times 12 is 60. And if you didn't remember it, we could do our multiplication. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. All right, so negative 5 times positive 12 is a negative 60. Now let's try negative 20 times negative 6. All right, negative 20 times negative 6. We have a negative times a negative. What was that rule again? A negative times a negative is a positive. And we don't write the positive sign, so we're going to leave that blank for a second. 20 times 6 is 120. Remember, 20 times 6, we could just do 2 times 6 and get 12 and add the 0, or we could do 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 2 is 12. Sorry, I didn't mean to carry a 1. All right, so we have a positive 120. Negative 20 times negative 6 equals a positive 120. And our last question on this page, 22 times negative 3. So we have a positive times a negative. A positive times a negative is always negative. You're getting the hang of it. And 22 times 3 is 66. So positive times a negative is a negative. 22 times 3 is 66. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. All righty, so that's page 239. Let me know if you have any questions.